Let's get it. Praise the Most High, family. It is another absolutely gorgeous day here in the Carolinas, and I'm so glad to see it. Got me a nice little spot here in the shade here at the park, Clanton Road Park. Hopefully I don't get ate up by nothing. Praise the Most High. And I did have a great idea for today. And one of the Most High told me was going to be like one of the most important ones I've done. I said, okay, sir. I'll take that into mind, or I take note of that. But it is, beware of the heart. Beware of your heart. We'll say that, beware of your heart. And this is coming out of Jeremiah 17, 9, and 10. The human heart is the most deceitful of all things, and desperately wicked. Oh boy. Now that's a mouthful right there from the start. It's saying that the human heart is the most deceitful thing, the most deceitful of all things, and desperately wicked. How bad is that? Who really knows how bad it is? But I, the Most High, search all hearts and examine secret motives. I give all people their due rewards according to what their actions deserve. Oh boy. Pardon me. See, this is why we say today, beware of your heart. And when the Most High gave me this, I was thinking about it. And I remember when we was younger, folks used to say, well, follow your heart. Follow your heart. And how we love to say, well, the Most High knows my heart. Yeah, he does. And this is what he's saying about it. Basically, your heart is the most deceitful thing of all, and desperately wicked. And see, this is before he finds us and purges our lives. But it's a process also of him cleaning their heart, giving us what he called a heart of flesh, taking out that stony heart. And see, this is how it's done right here. And that's Romans 12 and 2. It says, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect, the will of the Most High. Now this is a good script for those that say we can't walk a perfectly holy, set-apart life. And it's according to the heart, by being transformed by the renewing of our minds or hearts. But it takes work. And what I've learned, it takes submitting to the Most High's plan for our lives. As we have been speaking on this past week, or last week, now that today is the Sabbath. But in order to find his plan, we must first start with our hearts and transform it. It says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So the way that's worded, I feel like this is our part. This is something we need to do in order for this transformation to take place. We must put in the time in this transforming process. And no, it's not easy when we live in this world that we're trying to be transformed away from. We're renewing our minds from what we see, hear, feel, taste, and smell every day. But the text says come up out of them and be separate. And this is once again the Most High speaking. And I love it how this is Jeremiah. Is this Jeremiah? Yeah, this is Jeremiah. He puts in the text so you'll know who's talking. It says, but I, the Most High, search all hearts and examine secret motives. I give all people their due rewards, according to what their actions deserve. And see, I want a good judgment. To say the least, I want a good judgment from my father. I want him to say, Bob, you did a good job, or Robert, you did a good job. Just like my pop would tell me, he was like, Bob, you did a good job, I'm proud of you. And see, my father told me that not too long ago, which he tells me at least a couple of times a year of late. He's like, Bob, I'm really proud of you. You were doing a good job. Since I really got serious about my own business and started really working towards being independent. And that means the world to a man. When you hear your father, who's done nothing but hard work all his life, tell you that he's proud of you. I'm proud of the man that you have become. And see, this is what we want to hear from the Most High, who judges our heart. But we got to be careful about not following our own heart. Not taking that worldly advice of follow your heart. Do what your heart tells you. See, it's all kind of quick and easy sayings concerning the heart and how we should follow it. But the main one we should think about is that we're born into sin and shaped into iniquity. We're born in sin and shaped into iniquity. That means our hearts are already born deceitful, wicked, desperately wicked, like the text says. And you can see this in children, in babies. Pardon me. How they act out at times. Pardon me. How they'll snatch. And, you know, they can't talk, but they fussing and cussing back at you. Saying, no, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And I've seen this online, and people think it's cute. How they post chaps, babies, just fussing at their parents. And their parents going back and forth with them. Like, that's not cute. We would have got our hands popped or our butt popped right in that diaper. No way. You ain't gonna be talking to mama or daddy like that, or let alone grandma or grandpa. No. No. But the text says we're born into it and shaped. See, it's one thing being born into it, but if you're shaped in it, that's even worse. Because the perpetual cycle of sin continues in that house. And that's what we had said not too long ago. Who's going to be the generation that changes the cycle in your family? I choose it to be my generation. And I pray all those that follow me will seek the truth and follow it. But first, we gotta get over this heart issue. And that's the root of most of our problems, if not all. It's always a heart issue. Always. What does our heart have to say about it? What does my heart want? Your desires. And see, once we start lining our desires up with the Most High's desires, notice I said we. Because this is nothing that just happens willy-nilly once you say, well, I say now. Like the folk on Purple. What's that movie called? Purple something. But she run into her daddy, who's a preacher, saying, and her father was mad at her because she left the church. She was like the singing lead singer in the choir, The Color Purple, and she left and started singing rock and roll blues. So she went out and found her a man and came back home and was telling her daddy she was at Miss Seeley's house standing on the side of the road getting some mail. And she was telling her daddy, I was married now. I was married. I said I was married now. Thinking that was gonna make it all right. And see, that's how it is with us. We think we can throw a Band-Aid on the problem and come to the Most High and say, I saved now. Once saved, always saved. Which means you can go on and do whatever you want to continue to do with your life. But we have to remember also that it's not your life. That your life is not your own. You're the literal temple of the Most High. However, a good question for today is, can he dwell in your temple? Oh boy, what a question. Speaking of the heart, that is. It's like we used to say in the church, you have to invite sweet Jesus into your heart. Oh boy. But how many of us know sweet Jesus wouldn't have nothing to do with your heart, let alone come stay in it until you start doing some work. And see, it is by works. See, this doctrine that, you know, you don't have to put no work in is truly gibberish. Being a believer is work. Just by the name of who you are, a believer. Believing is work. You have to have faith. But the text says faith without works is dead. So you got to put your work in to walk this walk. Yes, indeed. And to talk this talk. And see, that's something I told the Most High. I don't want to never be caught saying something that I don't do myself, or that I don't hold myself accountable for first. And see, just by getting out here and doing these recordings, it holds me accountable. It makes me do what I say I'm gonna do. But the most important part about it, I'm being obedient to him telling me, let's go do a recording. Well, family, that's gonna be my time. I think we're gonna change that idea to the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter. Praise the Most High. So where's your heart at today? Is it in the Most High's hand? Pliable? Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. See, when you start talking about them feelings, the Most High don't care about your feelings. See, that's what we have to learn about him first. So there's a whole lot of misconceptions going on about who he is. See, he loves you, but most of us he don't like. And what I mean by that is, he loves us, but he don't care about our feelings or our actions. Therefore, he don't care about our feelings. Because he tells us what not to do and what to do. But we want to line ourselves up with this world system. We want to conform to this world system like our second script told us not to do. It said, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of that mind, that heart. And it's going to take work, as we just said. So I guess the question is, who's willing to put in the work? Who's willing to put in that work? To hear, well done, son. To hear, you did a real good job. You was obedient, you was faithful, and now it's time for you to eat the good of the land. See, folks want the good of the land without being faithful and obedient. Uh-oh, we're gonna walk on that one. We're gonna walk on that one. So where you stand today? See, it's all about their heart. I know I want to be righteous. Dear Sir Father, I repeat that. On the text says, holiness without no man shall see him. That simply means if you don't get that heart right with the Most High, you're not going to see him, let alone spend eternity with him, because he's not going to be dealing with heart issues in his kingdom. No. See, that's what part of this is. Walking this earth now is about. Being prepared to live in the kingdom with him. Saying I think, oh boy, I know, Pop, I know. I know. See, first of all, we got to realize who the king is. And who's the Elohim. And I heard a fellow teaching on this today, teaching about the Elohims. The Elohim and then the little g Elohims. See, it's what they taught us. It's all about how what they taught us here in junior RTC in high school. It's called the chain of command. Oh boy. And a lot of us don't want to hear it. See, that's what this time is now. So we can learn the chain of command. There's a head, and then there's a tail. You're not going to ever have the head as your seat of power. No, your seat is to follow the king. But see, a lot of folks don't want to get over that simple fact that they're not their own. That he didn't create them for their own willy-nilly decisions and willy-nilly desires. Their plan. Praise the Most High. Family, we're gonna let that be our time for today. I do love y'all so much and appreciate you. I do know you're in my prayers. Don't be talking, just be talking. I say what I mean. Oh yeah, thank you, Father. And I had a prayer I want to speak on. Yeah, and the Most High gave me this text. I prayed it over our families, or over Yasharel, period. But especially for those who be commenting on my recordings, liking them or whatnot, I definitely appreciate it. But this is a prayer of David, and one that we should really pray for our people concerning. And it's Psalms 20, and it says, in times of trouble, may the Most High answer your cry. May the name of the Elohim of Jacob keep you safe from all harm. May he send you help from his sanctuary and strengthen you from Jerusalem. May he remember all your gifts and look favorably on your burnt offerings. And that's a Selah moment. May he grant your heart's desires and make all your plans succeed. May we shout for joy when we hear of your victory and raise a victory banner in the name of our Elohim. May the Most High answer all your prayers. Now I know that the Most High rescues his anointed king. He will answer him from his holy heaven and rescue him by his great power. Some nations boast of their chariots and horses, but we boast in the name of the Most High, our Elohim, Yahuwah. Those nations will fall down and collapse, but we will rise up and stand firm, just as we spoke about earlier with that flag being on a black reef on a brick wall on the side of a house. Give victory to our King, O Yahuwah. Answer our cry for help. And that's my heart's cry today, that he would give victory to us all. Whatever situation we're in, that he would answer our heart's cry and give us the desires of our hearts. As we line up our desires with his desires. Line up his plan and will for our lives with his plan and will for our lives. It's a heart, Matt. It's a heart issue. Praise y'all. Love y'all. Be safe.